And now, the main news on Radio Chingalo, brought to you by Musmili and Zambia Catholic University.
Radio Chingalo, restoring everything in Christ with love and truth. Good afternoon. With the main news, I'm Patrick Mupeta. The headlines: Uphold peace. Let Bishop Moses Amongole being buried today. Students implored not to be influenced by social media. The details: Zambians are being encouraged to uphold peace ahead of this year's general elections. Patriotic Front, Chidela-Bomba constituency chairperson Samson Chisambo reiterated that the move is essential in creating a conducive environment ahead of this year's polls. Speaking to Radio Chingalo News in Chidela-Bombe, Mr. Chisambo, who is also Chidela-Bombe mayoral aspiring candidate, is also challenging politicians to promote unity as they conduct campaigns this year.
Time for someone, it's not worth it. What is important that we need to engage each other at a platform which will be issue based and simply that we uphold the democratic rights that we have and ensure that we maintain the peace and unity that we have been enjoying all the ways. You've seen where His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zambia, Dr. Edgar Chagolongo, under the PF government from the word go, he has consistently kept on engaging the church and simply that we promote the issues of peace, we promote unity, we promote reconciliation.
Women empowerment has been identified as a sure way of reducing household poverty, especially among vulnerable groupings. And some women of Mindolo's BB Extension area have been empowered with the chicken rearing project, which is being spearheaded by one of the PF Nkana constituency aspiring candidate, Paul Chisunka. Mr. Chisunka said women need to be empowered for sustainable household development. He noted that when a woman is empowered, the benefit is huge, especially among children.
Lero twayisamukisa launch iyi program yama-free range chicken ama-program iyo nchikasiya ye muno munkana constituency yakuchita empower abana mayo nabayuzi okulumira kuona ama-ex minors bashimayini bose ama-ex minors because nabo balikwata ama-skills, those skills which are just going to waste. Ekyo njiminepo sana sana muno ine nikumwanyi tikuno.
And Mr. Chisunka also took time to sensitize people on the need to take precautionary measures amid escalating cases of COVID-19.
So we must take precaution.
Meanwhile, Jacqueline Tshimba, who spoke on behalf of the beneficiaries, said women were elated with the empowerment project, which will improve food security at household level.
Ishinko kwa mwamona tuwadile mbaka ya abantu first group so mwisakamana mweba lasangu okutila kamuli papa mukusandukula kwesu tubike kwa mano bakuna babi bakachitemo benefits.
Now, late Bishop Moses Amongole of Monse Diocese is today being buried at the cathedral grounds. There will, however, be no requiem mass according to the instructions from the Apostolic Nuncio. Each parish is, however, requested to have their own requiem mass at the same time today with the faithful. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Kwacha Member of Parliament Joseph Malanji is cautioning Copperbelt University CBU students not to be influenced by social media. Mr. Malanji reminded students that they are at the learning institution to create a good path for their future. The lawmaker said this when he addressed CBU students at the multipurpose hall yesterday.
Students, don't be swayed by social media. Don't be swayed by social media. You have come to this university with one specific objective: to create a good passage for your careers. And if you are going to be swayed by social media, you'll find that you'll be caught in crossfire. And at the end of the day, the same people who are using social media to use you as tools will not be there for you.
Mr. Malanji also urged students to help the administration fight COVID-19. He later donated 120,000 kwacha. He later donated 120,000 kwacha to students and 200 face masks, hand sanitizer, and 5 drums for COVID-19 fight.
If we are all not following the guidance we are having the medical team which you have in school, and I'm meant to believe that you've had even district and provincial medical health teams that have come to educate you on how best we can go about to avoid disaster in this school. Because at the end of the day, we've got to make sure the administration is trying the best it can to make sure that we remain afloat. So your input also matters because you are in the majority. And once 2, 3, 4 students are positive, it will go like bushfire here. So I would like to advise you to take the necessary precautions that we can.
Meanwhile, the Kwacha lawmaker has implored the clergy to promote unity. Kwacha Member of Parliament Joseph Malanji said the clergy should use the pulpit to unite people. He said this today at SDA Kwacha Church, where he also donated 30,000 kwacha to go towards construction project at the church.
Where you find the clergy having screaming headlines in daily newspapers, preaching hate. The clergy are there to mend. The clergy are there to mend. Even when the followers are listening, congregants are listening, they will understand that he means well for his calling.
And Kwacha SDA elder Brian Hamafua said the church need about 110,000 kwacha for the projects that have started at the church. He also said the church has a number of vulnerable people that need assistance.
Vulnerable children and homeless visitors here, and because of large numbers of church members, funerals haven't there. That take the minister to the council for supporting us during funerals all the time. But we also budgeted for 15,000 kwacha in case somebody wants to church.
Moving on, United Party for National Development UPND Deputy Youth Chairperson Gerald Ngoma has died. Mr. Ngoma was admitted at Ndola Teaching Hospital Mr. Ngoma was admitted at Ndola Teaching Hospital after being involved in a road traffic accident which claimed the life of UPND Provincial Youth Vice Chairperson Ronald Manenga. Confirming the development, UPND Provincial Chairperson Elisha Matambo explained that Mr. Ngoma died this morning at the Ndola Teaching Hospital Intensive Care Unit, ICU. In a statement, Mr. Matambo, however, revealed that Sparks Kalenga and Martha Mututa, who were also in the same accident, have fully recovered from their injuries they sustained. Pope Francis has prayed for Indonesia after a strong earthquake killed at least 67 people on the island of Sulawesi. Hundreds of people were also injured in the 6.5 magnitude quake. Pope Francis was saddened to learn of the tragic loss of life and the destruction of property caused by the violent earthquake in Indonesia. According to the Catholic News Agency, the death toll is expected to rise, according to local search and rescue teams who say that many people are still trapped in the rubble of collapsed buildings. This news broadcast comes to you in the community service of Radio Chengalo with compliments of Mosmele and the Zambia Catholic University. And now the international news as monitored from the BBC. Uganda's longtime president, Yoweri Museveni, has a clear lead in the presidential race following Thursday's vote, parliamentary results show. The country's electoral commission has dismissed allegation of vote rigging made by opposition candidate Bobi Wine, a former pop star. But election monitors say confidence in the count has been damaged by a 3-day internet blackout. Final results are expected to be confirmed on Saturday. A highly contagious coronavirus variant first detected in the UK could become the dominant strain in the US by March. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, warned of rapid growth of the variant in coming weeks. The warning came on Friday as President-elect Joe Biden unveiled an ambitious plan to ramp up vaccinations. As we end the news, we look at our last story. The sight of people of the world's biggest tennis stars touching down for the upcoming Australian Open tournament has frustrated many Australians unable to return home due to the pandemic. Australia currently has a weekly cap on the number of international arrivals, with people having to undergo quarantine in the designated facility. There are roughly 37,000 Australians waiting to return. A number of airlines have suspended routes, making it harder to travel back. On that note, we end Radio Chengalo main news, but here is a recap of our headlines. About peace, late Bishop Moses Zamongole being buried today. Students implored not to be influenced by social media. Let's play our part in the fight against coronavirus pandemic by adhering to the safety guidelines as outlined by the Ministry of Health and the World Health Organization. Wear a mask when in public, avoid large groups and maintain social distance. Avoid unnecessary movements. Wash your hands frequently for at least 20 seconds. This has been Patrick Mpeta with the main news. Good afternoon.